I recently made a video about Yoshi's Crafted World, and the series I talked about a lot in this video is the Donkey Kong Country series. I said multiple great things about these games, but most importantly, I praised the difficulty a lot, which is a thing that other Mario games don't have. But unfortunately, the Wii U and Switch version combined only have around 4 million sales, which is absolutely terrible for Nintendo standards. I think just not that many people know that this game even exists, and the people that do know just don't really care. However, today I'm going to tell you why you should stop sleeping on this game. Hey guys, this is Gaming 8, and today I'm going to be talking about why Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the masterpiece that nobody knows about. The first thing I want to talk about is the newly playable Kongs. Donkey Kong Country Returns just lets you play as Donkey and Diddy Kongs. However, Tropical Freeze lets you use Dixie and Cranky Kong as well. Diddy Kong has a jetpack that lets you stay in the air for an extra second, which is helpful for making long distance jumps. Dixie Kong has a very similar ability, but also gains elevation with her ability where she spins her hair around. Cranky Kong uses his walking cane thing to boost his height by bouncing off of it. However, you don't get much distance while doing it. You can also bounce off of some properties without getting damaged where you normally would. It's important to note that in most levels you get to choose which Kong to use, along with Donkey Kong, so most people end up having a favorite. My personal favorite is Diddy Kong, but all three of them are very fun to use. Also, I didn't add this to the script, but I forgot to mention Funky Kong, plus new funky mode, nice. But Funky Kong is basically just easy mode for the game that's only in the Switch port, so I never used him, so that's probably why I didn't mention him. But anyways, back to the video. Next up, I want to talk about the bosses of this game, which, honestly, they're fine. I mean, I'm not going to call them bad, because they're at least unique, but the bosses are a little bit too long for me. They take around 9 hits to defeat. And I guess this makes sense since every world has an entire level dedicated to the boss, but I still find it a bit annoying, as there aren't even any checkpoints. However, I don't hate these bosses, and I do respect how difficult they can be. I also like how every boss relates to the world you just played. For example, in World 4, also known as the Water World, you fight Fuji, which is a pufferfish. On top of this, pufferfish is one of the most common species of enemies to appear in this world, so it makes even more sense. Every boss is also completely different from each other, with different ways to kill them. In conclusion, I really like the bosses, but I wish they weren't so long. Next up, I'm going to talk about the actual levels of this game. This game has 6 worlds, which is something that in a 2D Mario game I would call disappointing, but I don't think it's disappointing for a Donkey Kong Country game. Here's why. Every level is extremely long, taking a minimum of around 5 minutes to complete on your first playthrough. This is because every level wants to take full advantage of its gimmick, and to do that it has to be long. However, these long levels aren't annoying like the long bosses, because there's not just one, but multiple checkpoints in every, or at least most, levels. On top of this, you will likely be spending more than 5 minutes on every level, as every level is very difficult. However, like I said earlier, it isn't frustrating to die a lot because you keep spawning at a checkpoint, which will most likely be close to the spot you just died at. Anyways, as for the levels themselves, I also really like them. Since all the levels are so long, they get to take full advantage of their gimmick. And that's another thing these levels do great. They all have really fun gimmicks. There's even a level where you have to avoid a huge octopus in the background trying to kill you in unique ways. If that's not gimmicky, then I don't know what is. There are also minecart and rocket barrel levels. In the minecart levels, you ride on the tracks of a minecart and have to jump and crouch to avoid stuff, which sounds really simple and boring, but can actually get very intense and fun at times. In the rocket barrel levels, you have to avoid obstacles in the air by pressing A to gain height and holding A to get a lot of height. These levels are in the same boat as the minecart levels in that they seem boring but are actually really fun. My favorite world in this game is either Juicy Jungle or DK Island, leaning towards Juicy Jungle. I like DK Island a lot because it is the last world of the game and is the most difficult. Juicy Jungle is more likely my favorite, as it has really fun levels that feature really fun obstacles and other items that no other worlds have. Overall, the levels in this game are really good. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about the difficulty of this game. I made a section about the difficulty in my Crafted World video, and since this is basically being treated as a sequel to that video, I figured I'd make a difficulty section on this video because the difficulty is basically the exact opposite as in Crafted World. The difficulty in this game honestly makes the game so much better in my opinion. The Donkey Kong Country games understand that not a lot of young kids are going to be playing these games, as they'd be playing games like New Super Mario Bros., and they probably haven't even heard of games like this in Yoshi's Crafted World. Donkey Kong Country understands this, and it takes full advantage of it by making it one of the hardest Mario series. And since only hardcore Mario fans will be playing these games, it works perfectly, because most players have been waiting for a challenging, but not annoying, Mario game for years. And this game, along with Donkey Kong Country Returns, accomplish that perfectly. And it isn't annoying either, because like I mentioned before, these games have a lot of checkpoints, making it so that you don't have to restart the entire level if you die. In conclusion, this game has very few flaws. The only big flaw I can think of is the bosses, but even that is just a minor problem for the game. I think that this game could be called one of the best Mario spin-offs of all time, but unfortunately it's not given that title because very few people know about the game. This game is a masterpiece, but nobody ever talks about this game for some weird reason, and I hope that this changes in the future. But anyways guys, this video is going to be done. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Bye bye.